Ready? God, I feel so awkward.
Okay, wait, no, I won't.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have a special guest here today. This is my friend Lexie. I gave you a shout out in my last video too.
Oh, I didn't watch it. It's the only one I've not watched.
Or maybe one of my other videos. Anyway, she does faith, fitness, and other stuff.
What kind of lifestyle?
Yeah. She has a YouTube channel too, and we were just hanging out today, and we were like, you know what, we should film a video together. And based off of the title, you guys know what we're doing, but we're both young and married. Got married at the same age, and we're, still married.
We basically live the same exact life because we both got married at 19. We were both entrepreneurs who do the same exact thing.
We were both together with our significant others for the same amount of time before we got married.
We're both type 2s, and we both struggle with our life on a daily basis. So.
This video is going to be 8 things that we wish we knew before we got married / 8 things that you should know before you get married. And this applies to all ages. We got married young, but marriage is marriage no matter what age you are. Sounds like Dr. Seuss. Marriage is marriage no matter how it's helpful. I'll do my first one. I have communication is key. And I feel like this could literally summarize everything. But this could be applied to like your normal relationship when you're dating, when you're married. It could be applied to friendships. That's highly encouraged. Communication is key in every relationship. And I wish I would have known how important it actually is and what communication actually is, because people always tell you like you need to communicate, you need to talk about stuff, but that literally just means talk about stuff. Even if you have to be really blunt and hurtful sometimes, it's better to get your words and your thoughts out there than to hold it all in, because chances are they don't know what you're thinking. Like, guys can't read minds, girls can't read minds, and if you're not communicating about anything, it just adds up tension. And I don't know, Austin and I have learned a lot since implementing better communication. We talk about things as they happen, give our full, real, raw opinion on it.
I would say communication is not just, like, it's obviously you communicating to your person, but also be willing to, like, recognize if your person is struggling to tell you something, like, be okay to ask them to communicate, you know? Like, I think that that's something that I have had to really learn in my marriage is, like, guys don't love to share their feelings. Like, they just don't like to do that sometimes. But it also just means a lot for you as their wife or girlfriend or whoever, whatever you are, for you to ask them like how they are. Like, that means so much that you would just respect them enough to care about that.
Make it like a comforting and welcoming place for them to talk.
Yeah.
Like, you want to open the door, because even there'll be times when you don't want to communicate about something, so to have someone pressure you into it is always a good thing, which sounds bad, but
it's not even really pressure either. It's just like a welcoming, like, hey, I recognize you're struggling, be okay with communicating.
It's easier and like more encouraged in today's society to hold things in and like wait for them to figure it out,
or to just never talk about things and let it fester and become horrible.
Yep. It's better to over communicate. So communication is key in literally any relationship. My number 2 is time apart from each other is very necessary. And I have never really struggled with this, but I know a lot of other couples that do. I value Austin's time with his guy friends. Like, I let Austin, that sounds bad. We make sure I never ever guilt trip him for wanting to make time for his friends. Like, I value that because I know he's his best self when he gets time with his guy friends, and I don't try to text and call him the whole time he's with them or anything. I just respect that he has friendships and he deserves to have time away from me. Your husband or boyfriend is more than just your husband or boyfriend. He's a friend to someone, a brother to someone, a son to someone, so you have to value those relationships as well. And he does the same for me. He never guilt trips me when I want to have time with my girlfriends. Yeah. And when you have time apart, it makes the time together feel more special.
And Craig can't talk to me about certain things. Like, there are certain things that he can and he should talk to me about, but I think that it's necessary to have a community of people outside of your spouse to be able to talk about things, because I can try to help him in certain things, but like he can hear it from me and it will not go into his brain, but if he hears that same thing from a friend, it's a game changer for him.
And they come home and they're like, babe, I had
I
this
know,
huge
and I'm like,
breakthrough, and you're like,
I just told you that like 2 hours ago, but
Done been told you that
I
100
know.
times.
But that's why it's important, because they value that brotherly friendship too.
Yes.
Just the way that they want us to have that with the girls too.
Yep.
So.
My number 3 is you have to make time and schedule on date nights / you have to keep dating. Everyone always told me that before we got married. They were like, make sure you have a date night every week. And I was like, sure, whatever. But literally, if we don't schedule it, we don't do it. And then a month goes by and we're like, hey, we haven't gone on like an actual date where you're my like special person and it's like a romantic thing, not just let's eat together. And when we go through seasons where we don't do that, we struggle because you're not having dedicated time like as a couple. You're together all the time, but it's not like quality time.
Purposeful.
Yes, purposeful pursuing them. Date night is like you pursue them on that date, be interested in them, ask them questions, like pretend you're like early on in the relationship and be genuinely interested in them. So we always have date nights on Thursday or Friday, and we try to do new things every week. And then a tip that my in-laws gave me is to schedule, like this week I plan date night, next week Austin plans date night, the next week I plan it, and yeah, whatever.
I feel like that tip is kind of something that like when you're getting married and you ask people for marriage advice, that's one that they always say is like always date your person. But take it seriously.
Yes.
Because it's something that like if you just let it run off your shoulder and you go about your life and you just kind of exist together, you will not thrive in your marriage, and you will not grow. So yeah, don't take it with a grain of salt. Like,
you don't want to become roommates. You have to remember, like, you are like head over heels in love with that person.
yeah.
Keep it going. And number 4 could kind of just go with the last one, but always be willing to try new things and be interested in what they're interested in. Don't just be like, for example, Austin likes to fish, hunt, camp. He likes to play every single sport under the sun. Like, he is a go-go person. And when we first got married, we struggled because he would always ask me like, hey, let's go do this. And I'd be like, no, I'm not into that. Like, you go. But that's his way of saying like, please spend time with me and try this thing. Like, I genuinely want to spend time with you. So now I try everything. And like, the amount of times that I have enjoyed myself are far greater than the times that I haven't. And it's always worth it to just try new things together, be willing to go out of the box and like be interested in what they are, because you care about them. So you should care about what they want to do.
Doing things like that helps you learn more things about you and your spouse too.
It's fun.
Yeah. It just keeps things exciting and like always like adventurous.
Yes.
Which is important.
Even if you're so bad
Yeah.
at whatever you try. Like,
Yeah.
we're into tennis right now, and I've had a lot of embarrassing moments with it, but it's a fun thing where we're not just sitting in front of a TV or sitting at a dinner table.
This is a good video, dude.
I know, we're spilling the tea. Wish we had cups. It was supposed to be me like tipping my cup and drinking out of it, but it just looked
You hold your cup like this? Oh, your tea.
Tea
Oh,
cup.
that's a small teacup. Okay. So mine, the very first one that I'm gonna say is kind of like, it's a little bit deep, but as a woman, please do not be afraid to be the one who initiates the intimacy. Like, that's very much spilling the tea, but I have had to learn this so much in my marriage because I knew nothing about that before I got married, like nothing. And so I just kind of expected it to just be this thing that happened all the time. But it is so, sorry, this is blit, but it's attractive to your person for you to want to initiate that too. Like, it builds this excitement around it, and it makes it so much more like enjoyable and just like something that you want to continue doing and not something that just has to be done. Or is that bad? Does that make sense?
No, I would say when you initiate too, it reminds them it's a two-way street. Like,
Yeah.
you're also attracted to them, you also really want to be with them, but also not just like intimacy in the bedroom, initiating intimacy anytime. Like, show them affection during the day, like talk to them, ask them how their day was. Intimacy goes a lot deeper than just like bedroom stuff. You know?
Yeah. Intimacy could be like
Putting effort.
Even like spiritual intimacy.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then my next one is expectations is so huge. like, I knew this before I got married, but I was like, I'm not gonna have any expectations when I go into my marriage. And you do, unless you like focus on not doing that, because I was the type of person who I had a Pinterest board of like 4,000 pins of what I wanted my ideal person to be, or what I thought, you know, marriage was supposed to be based on like movies and stuff, and it's just not the case. And it's been really eye-opening for me to just go into my marriage expecting nothing except that, we were talking about this earlier, the only expectation that I believe you should have, both as a wife and a husband, is for your husband to be the spiritual leader of the home, and to like take up that role as like the one who makes the like praise over you and makes decisions based on like what he knows to be true about what God would want for you, and just like being the head of the home that God asked him to be, and you can read about that in the Bible, but also for you as a wife to be that nurturing like person that your husband wants to come home to.
I would say, like you said, you can have expectations,
Yeah.
but know that they are not going to be met. Like, all of them are not going to be met. You always want to expect your spouse to become better and be a better version of themselves, because
Yeah.
that's your role, is to like better them and like not change them, but encourage them to be the best and bring out the best in them. But you cannot hold it against them if they're not who you want them to be. Like,
Yes.
they are who they are, and you love them through that, but you can always find ways to encourage them to be better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it kind of goes back to the communication thing,
Yeah.
where like you do have ways that, you know, I always ask Craig, like, how can I love you better today or this week? And I think that that's not necessarily an expectation, but that's like communicating as though this is how I would love to be loved.
Most of the time when you have issues in your marriage, or with expectations, it's because they don't know what your expectations are. Like, sit down and write down, this is what I expect a husband to be or do, and then they do the same for you. And then if you know that, you'll do them. But most of the time we just expect, like, oh, I wish my husband would do this, but he doesn't
It's
know.
like,
They
yeah.
don't know anything at all.
Yeah.
Like, they do not know.
They're new
You
to
don't
marriage,
know.
just like you are, okay?
Yeah. None of us know. We're not mind readers, so
Yeah.
make them know.
Yeah. And my last one is love God more than you love them. I think this is just kind of like a given, but it's really important, because when you love God more than you love your person, your marriage does thrive. Because I just don't believe that if you, like, you should constantly be pursuing each other, but if you're constantly pursuing God both individually and together, your marriage just thrives, because when God's the center of things, it's great. Like, it can't not be. So
we were talking about this earlier when we wrote that down. I always pray and try to remind myself that not just in marriage, in any aspect of your life, everyone around you is also a child of God, and your role is to love them as such. Like, love his people because they're his kids, and like, you're a part of making them feel loved and see him. So looking at your spouse and reminding yourself, like, they're created by God, they're loved by him the way that God loves me, and my job is to make them understand that and show them each day, like, this is how much Jesus loves you. And it's your role, like, it's your role to make sure that they understand that, instead of just like, this is my person and I deserve everything from them. Like, they need to give. Like, no.
The only other thing that I would say about that too is I just listened to a message from Francis Chan, and he was talking on the subject of marriage, and he said that if you love your spouse as if you are going to stand in front of God together, and you're going to be a part of that person's like helping that person fulfill their mission, like, that's all that you want to do. Like, to think about you standing next to your person at the feet of God and being able to say, I helped you fulfill that. Like, that kind of changes the way that you do your marriage, because it helps you see that person as not only your spouse and your life partner, but like this person who you want to have standing next to you then.
Yeah.
And that's so cool.
Yeah, you want to bring out the best in them.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
Spill the tea.
Yes.
Okay, well, if you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos with Lexie, or videos like this, or videos about marriage, let a girl know. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, because it really supports my channel. Hit the subscribe button to join the Happy Soul Tribe if you haven't already, and you can head over to Lexie's. Okay, anyways, you can head over and check out the video, You can head over to Lexie's channel and check out the video we did together on her channel. And I'm not going to tell you what it's about because it's a surprise and you have to watch it to find out. And yeah, like I said, if you guys want to see more from Lexie and I in the future, comment down below. And make sure you go subscribe to her because she's the best ever. Make sure you go out of your way today to love on someone and make them feel extra special just because they are. Catch you in the next one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.